This video is made for adult collectors because, oh, pain. Oh! Okay, well that's... This set has been... well, it's been a bit of a pain. There's so much to be said. Too much for one video for me, because I'm going to try my best to keep this under 20 minutes. But no, I don't think this is better than the Zeta Toys Moon Studios one. However, I don't think that set is better either. But why is this one so not very good? Well, combiners usually have one mode that gets kinda shafted slightly, because essentially they're triple changers or quad changers if they're doing Scramble City. And usually you don't want combine mode to be the mode that carries most of the issues. But this set, it does just that. This set I feel tries too much to be model train scaled like HO, that it loses focus on what it's really supposed to do, which is be a good combiner. This is their first time doing an MP combiner, so I'll give Takara that, but only slightly, as Takara has been making Transformers since before they were called Transformers. I feel like they should have been able to push out a better combiner than this, even with this being their first time. But the set isn't all doom and gloom. The individual figures are kinda okay, except for Getsui. Boo, Getsui. These are the Trainbots. Shuki, Getsui, Pain, Yukikaze, Suiken, Seizan, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Kaien, I also don't know how you pronounce that, who I think is probably the best one of the set. I've made a video on Shuki, where I was called a slur in the comments, and I made a video on Getsui, who got borked by Made for Kids, and that video actually started the whole "this video's made for adult collectors" shit. So the rest of them are all right. The robots look pretty neat together. Like, they look more like they're doing a toy style rather than a cartoon style. I really like Shuki's chunk, and I like how Shuki and Yukikaze are like the same train mode but different robots. That's pretty cool. Kind of better than the ARM guys, who are legit just the same mold, and really kind of put me off getting the tan one because like I didn't want to spend 200 bucks on the same toy. Fortunately, Bai got me covered there. They aren't directly sponsoring this video, but I did get like 40% of these on there, so I'll link them below. But my favorite is kind of hard to pick because each one has a massive problem that's unique to their mold and makes them annoying to handle. The ARM guys don't have heels and they have big backpacks and their ankles are strange, so they like to fall a lot. Yukikaze's legs don't hold together super well. Getsui just fucking sucks. Kaien, again, I don't know. His legs fall off quite a bit, and Shuki's shoulders come undone frequently. They do look good as a team. They fit the same aesthetic, but they kind of don't fit with the modern Masterpiece aesthetic. Modern MP is really going for show sculpts. There are some toy color things, obviously, but like the majority of them is show. And these feel like they don't know what they want to do because they look like a mix of both toy and toon. Some going more for toy while others going more for toon, and that feels very out of place next to something like Skids or Skyfire or Starscream. Those were all S's, geez. They're also really small for being trains, and scale is like a big thing in MPs, but this has to do with what I think is the main issue about the set, which is the HO scale. These are model trains, and that presents a problem. They put so much emphasis on the train modes and being able to scale with like other model trains that Takara makes, it feels like it really hinders both the robot and combine mode. It doesn't allow for a lot of space inside the trains to fit all the complex engineering these guys need to do all the things they need to do. And it leads to parts forming backpacks, extremely panely transformations, and just weird things all around, like the hips on Kaien, the strange legs on Shuki, the lack of any real heels on the arms, etc. Shoki and the ARM guys have like their backpacks, they're huge and they don't like to stay in place. On Shuki there's a series of hinges and it's a bit strange, but it at least stays together. And the ARM guys though, there's a rivet right there. So the port is super shallow because there's a rivet in it. And then there's a peg that pegs into that, but the peg is also too shallow. And then there's a square hole around it that's supposed to like cup the square piece around the peg where it goes in. And it just doesn't really work very well. The plastic quality feels pretty good though. Like nothing is thin and flimsy, even though Shuki is mostly clear. He feels fine. It's thicker, clear plastic, so it works. That and the rest of the toys use inserts a majority of the time, so like they learned from it. They all come with accessories, a selection of guns and melee weapons, and they're very well detailed and they fit in the hands of like most of the other guys, so they're interchangeable, which is nice. Okay, Doing a normal posing segment would be just me going, all right, here's how you do this, 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 and then explaining some things. But this time there's going to be issues that come into play, and I'm not doing these two because I've already made videos on them. So also, yeah, they can be gone because we will start with Yukikaze. Pretty sure this is the correct names. Yes, Yukikaze. All right. So this, oh, his legs are coming apart. So this guy, upper body, great. Lower body, not so much. Head on a ball joint. You can't really get much tilt, but it can look up and down, left and right. Shoulders, they're very stuck on mine, but they can do a full 360 in and out. Bicep rotation, this panel moves out of the way. Double jointed elbows, wrist swivels, hands open and close. Due to transformation, he also has backwards butterfly joints. Waist joint, as you saw. No ab crunch, though does have a little bit of a torso pivot because of the ankle joint, but like it's not really usable. Hip skirts can move out of the way, legs go forward. They don't go back at all. They can go in and out. They also have this transformation joint up here. You have thigh rotation. The legs are coming apart again. You have just a tiny, oh my God. Just a tiny bit over 90 degrees of bend at the knee. And oh, forget it. He has ankle pivot, but it's not very good. The arm guys, I'm not going to use this dude because he's always leaning forward, because if I don't do that, he falls over. We're going to use this dude. So, head, pretty hard to get access into there, but it's on a ball joint. Shoulders can rotate, they can go in and out. You have butterfly joints. These don't stay out. They like to shrink, so that's fun. You do have bicep rotation, single jointed elbows that bend more than 90 degrees, wrist swivel, hands can open and close. Does have an ab crunch, which is quite nice. Waist rotation, it's actually like a double hinge in there, which is kind of funny. Legs can go forward, they can't go back. Does this open? No, yeah, okay. So the back flap opens, but the hips can't go backwards. That's funny. They can go out, thigh rotation, knee bend, which bumps into this on this guy. And when you're bending the knees, sometimes these will just come undone. Let me see if I can actually get it to work on the other dude. Oh, his backpack came off. Let's see. Is it gonna do it? No, the camera's on and I'm recording, so it's not gonna do it. But these will just come undone sometimes, and it's very annoying. And then the feet can go down, up, and ankle pivot and toe pivot. This one has a little bit of a foot redesign to allow for a bit more structure in there than this guy does. But yeah, they're okay. There's those. Now him. Kane. Again, I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm going to go with Kine because, you know, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But his articulation is the least modern of the set. So first of all, his leg is not, there we go. And it's very strange because he's the crotch section of the combiner. So the head can rotate. That's pretty much all you can do. Shoulders can do a full 360 degrees. They can go in and out, bicep rotation, single jointed elbow, wrist swivel, fingers and thumb open. No waist joint. There's nothing there. Everything locks into place. Hips can go forward. They can go back. A nice ratchet. They can go in and out. But because there's a second joint in here, because that's where the combine mode hip is, right? Sometimes you can like bend it at the wrong spot, and then when you have the legs attached, it looks strange, so you have to make sure that you have everything straightened out. Thigh rotation, knee bend, they both bend about just a little over 90 degrees. And then both ankles can go down. They cannot move up. This one can tilt all this way, whereas this one can only tilt that way. But, you know, yeah. But his leg came off again. Oh my God. He's very strange. Very, very strange. Still like it, but he's very, very strange. So yeah, that's robots. They kind of come apart and aren't the nicest to handle at times. Build quality of these parts feel fine, but build quality of the overall figures is questionable sometimes. Okay, transformations. I'm not showing Shuki's, I'm not showing Getsui's, and I'm not showing the one who's the same color as me. Because, well, Shuki and Getsui have already had their own videos, and this dude is the same, so his gun's falling out of his hand. So I'm not gonna bother with that. We'll do these three. His backpack fell off and I couldn't be asked to put it back on. So we'll start with, actually he's already coming apart, so we'll start with him. And Yuki Kaze fell over. I'm not gonna go, my light is in my face. I'm not gonna go through the entire thing, just showing you the bits that, you know, I don't necessarily like. These guys are actually, they're not that bad. You fold up the fists, like so. And then you just sort of, well, you compress these, they've already started compressing. I'm also using the wrong autofocus. You then take the arms, well, you take this entire section and you like unfold it out. Take the arms and just sort of bring them up and forward. The hinge needs to be oriented like that. You spin the arm around 90 degrees. Bring this together, the arms will peg into place. These sections here will peg into place. They'll peg into place. Come on. Come on, there we go. And then you just sort of accordion this entire assembly down and it'll unpeg again. Peg the arms back together because they've come unpegged. Bend it down 90 degrees and then peg the whole assembly together. And that is the back of the train. Pretty much, is that the back? That's the back, I don't know. Now the legs are pretty neat. I actually like the way the legs work. So you compress the feet, right? We're just gonna fold them all in, fold that out. You open this up, you take this entire assembly here and you bend it like this. Then you rotate it on the double hinge here in and clip it into place and then fold this back. And that's your leg. So put the feet into place. Peg the legs together. Oh wait, I forgot a step. These little bits need to come out. So don't forget to do that. And then you peg this together like so. Then you take these little door sections here and you fold them over and then bring these up and over. They'll peg in. Something's not lining up properly. There we go. There we go. Haha. There we have most of a train. And you take this and you just sort of get these wheels out of here. Close this entire assembly up. Peg it together. Close this up. Now you can store the little cannon thing in here. You just like slide it in there. And then you can take this entire assembly and just clip it in to place. Like so. Then you fold this, fold it in the right way in. There you have a wibbly wobbly train because I forgot to do this. There we go. Now you have a regular train. Yay, train. Yuki Kaze kind of sucks to transform because of all of this. So to start with, we're going to fold the hands in. Ow. Ow, I just closed my thumb in there. Pain. You fold this up like that. I'm also going to take these sections here and just rotate them out like so, just for now, and then spread these little bits out. Right, so the arms go this way. There we go. I remembered. So you fold them down, not up. You bring these sections up like that. And then you bring this section up, then you peg this section in, then you bring this down, and that's basically the front of the train. Now the back of it. Oh, the back. Oh boy, the back. Okay. So you bring these out, you rotate them and do that. All right, rotate them and do that. Then you just undo all of this crap. Because this is the part that's fun. So you bring these sections around, right, just like that. Then this entire assembly here is going to shift up on a double hinge. Now on this, you bring this up, you bring it around, and then you swing this around here. Then you shove this panel down and clip it in. And you accordion that closed. And that's one half of the train pretty much prepped and ready to go. And so I'm just going to peg this into here for now. Oi! There we go. And then you fold the door out the back. Now one cool thing you can do is you can take the head and store it in here. Just kind of sit it in there like that. But for my sanity, I'm not going to put it in there. So once all that's done, you have train. The short guy's easy, like really easy, except for his legs, which are strange. So you want to take all of this and compress it like so. Get his arms compressed. Unpeg the shoulders. Bring this entire assembly back. Fold up the chest section here. Bring these around. Fold this up. Rotate the head 180 degrees and fold it into its little cavity. And bring this entire assembly out. Now we are going to stretch this because the arm's here. Now this piece right here is optional. You don't have to put this piece on. This is for like some sort of accuracy thing. I don't know what it is for, but I like the way it looks. However, to fold the hinge, you have to take it off because it stops the hinge from moving here. And so once you have that, you can then fold this assembly up. It goes in a very specific order, and it doesn't want to do the do. There we go. Come on, bro, do the do. Fold up. There we go. Once you folded it up, you peg this entire section together, bring these sections up, and then I'm going to take this. I'm gonna just bend that down. I'm going to plug that back on because I like the way it looks. Bring that up, peg that together, and that is the front of the train. I think that's the front of the train. I actually don't know trains very well. Then the difficult part, the legs. So I believe they're supposed to be oriented like this. So they're supposed to be oriented like that, I believe. I think. I always get it wrong. And then what we're going to do... Oh, no, it's this way. It's like this. Aha. But this is facing the wrong way. Now, this is something that annoys me. You have to make sure that you have the hips this way first so that you can rotate this 180 degrees. Then you put the hips back. It's kind of a nuisance, and I feel like they could have sculpted this in such a way that it didn't have to do that, but whatever, I guess. Now you fold this foot in, like so. Open this section up, like that. Rotate the leg 180 degrees. Fold it in. Fold it, oh, right. Fold the smokestack out first, then fold it in all the way. Then close it up. And then this should just sort of hug everything and snap into place. Make sure the stack is folded out too. Don't forget to do that. I always forget to do that. There we go. Close this up. This needs to be folded forward first. Now close it up. Get it all situated. Then bring this section over. And it's going to sit over a series of hooks on either side. And then it will peg in to the front like so. And there you have what is probably the best looking and best feeling train of the set. That's nice. This is where the set shines, the train modes. These are some badass and accurate trains, and I know nothing about trains, but I do have some of my dad's HO trains lying around. They blend in quite well. They feel great too, pretty dense and solid and weighty, especially Cayenne. They look like they could work very well as a set, and then when you bring the tracks in, that just kind of elevates it a bit more. I love the fact that they include tracks. These also, I would assume, link with Takara's tracks because Takara's train division helped make these toys. You can also put like a flight stand on Shuki's track and stuff to like put him in the air. I'm assuming that's a thing that happens in the show. I've only ever seen one episode. But again, they don't fit in scale or level of detail with other modern Masterpiece toys. Trains are supposed to be massive, and next to a Honda City Turbo, which is a small car, this just doesn't work. But enough about the trains. Let's get to the thing that most people would consider this set for, the combine mode. All right, let's get this guy together. They're already in their combine mode, and yeah, it's not fun getting here, so we're gonna do it like this. So where do I even start? It's not the greatest thing in the world to combine because it's not very traditional. It's very interesting. Like the arms hook in with these two thingies. The legs hook in and they're at slight different angles because the legs are actually at like different heights at the hip joint. The torso slides into this, these peg in. Let's just get into it. You can tell I'm stalling because I don't actually want to do this. All right, so we're gonna start with the upper body. So what I'm gonna do first is you're gonna fold these sections up that exposes these. Now, a couple people have mentioned that these pop out, these joints right here. You have to make sure that this hook is hooked all the way, focus on it, there we go, all the way into the slot. Because if it's like slightly, let me unpeg it so I can exemplify what I mean. Because when you put it over, it sits like that, right? But you have to make sure that it is entirely clicked in, and then this will not come out at all. So just make sure you do that first. Why am I folding that down? So the shoulders, they literally just slide on in like this. It's a very secure connection. Then you fold that down, and that's a shoulder pretty much done. This side is a little bit more stiff than the other side for some reason. I don't know why, but you know, there we go. So that's the shoulders in place. Yay, shoulders. Now we can do the best part, the legs. So you want to take these little parts formery cube things, and they just peg into the sides of the feet. So you got that side, and then you have this side. And these can only go in this way. Like this green one does not fit on this side. You want to take this section, and you want to slide it in. Now this end slides in and locks into place. Or if you don't miss. Come on, there we go. See? That sort of just snaps itself into place. This side doesn't. It comes out with no effort. So that's fun. So then once that's all done, you take the top torso section and you slide it in. First, we move the camera up, and then you slide it in. Just make sure it's all lined up correctly there and push until it's all the way in. And there you have, whoa! That's come out. Oh, come on, get in. There we go. Get this section back into place. There we have Raiden. I did it. So after that amazing display, here's the combiner. And I like the way that looks, actually. But I know this isn't for everyone's taste because it isn't cartoon accurate. I'm someone that isn't super bothered all the time by that. But again, this is the main masterpiece line, and it focuses a lot on cartoon accuracy, and this doesn't match that, but I like it. The chunk and the way the limbs are positioned, I dig all of that. The layout of the combine mode appeals to me. Then there's the accessories, a cool blue sword, this lightsaber thing, and a gun. He can't really hold them very well, but once you get them in his hands, he does look really cool. You can also put him on a stand and get him into some like slightly more dynamic poses, but he is very heavy, so that pivot joint only works in certain places unless you tighten the screw. Now, the issues. Stability and articulation. Stability is something that a combiner needs to succeed at. I've had my fair share of combiners that work and some that don't. But most of the ones that don't, it's because they're cheap. This isn't cheap. Together, this thing costs about $900 US before tax, and after tax, you're looking at almost $1,000, if not slightly more. And he likes to topple if I touch it slightly. Following the instructions and all, and yeah. So the issues I have are the amount of play in the ankles. Getsui's ankle's fine, but Yukikaze, the amount of play between the ratchets is just massive, and thus he falls at the ankles. Then there's the thigh. For some reason, my Getsui won't actually friction to the hip. There's no friction, no matter how hard I try. His leg just falls off, like it slips out, and then he falls over. That could 100% be a me thing, I don't know, but I've tried everything and nothing works. Swapping the attachment points, retransforming both parts, reading the instructions, watching videos, nothing seems to want to work. And then on top of all that, most of Kaien just kind of hangs out the butt, so his dumpy weighs him down and makes him really back heavy. And he doesn't like staying tabbed in properly. Then there's the articulation. Oh boy, the articulation. So, as you can kind of see, you know what, I'm not turning him because he'll fall. I'm going to pick this up. His butt's collapsed. But articulation, I'm going to have to like hold it here. So the head, it's on a universal joint. It can look up, it can't look down, it can turn left and right. Shoulders, they can only rotate forward about that far. That's as far as they want to go. And then go back about that far. That's as far out as they go. They don't really go any further than this. As you can see, it just flops. This also doesn't peg in, which is annoying. There is really no waist joint. Everything is locked in there.
Oh, why am I getting on the waist? You have elbow bends that bend about that far. You have bicep rotation. You have wrist rotation, and thumb and fingers are individually articulated, so you have that. But like I said, nothing at the waist. Hips can go forward. They can't go back because of the butt. They can go out because they love to go out. You have thigh rotation. This leg has a knee bend. This leg doesn't, which is strange. I'm just gonna take it off to show this. You have to like push these two little things inside the leg out of the way, and then you have access to the knee bend, but then it like unpegs the side of the leg. So very strange. Very, very strange. Get that slid back into there. There we go. And then the ankles, they can go down, they can go up. You have ankle pivot, that came unpegged. Same with the other leg. You have ankle pivot, it can go up and it can go down. So yeah, also it's splitting right here. There we go. But yeah, he's gonna fall. He's not fun. He's not fun to, there he goes.
So yeah, I don't recommend this set. For the price it commands, it feels very unfinished and unpolished. But then the question is raised of, should you buy the Moon Studios / Zeta Toys version over this? Now I know there's gonna be a ton of people who don't watch up to this part, so they're gonna comment before hearing this, which is gonna be funny. But I personally go with no. Because I've heard some stories of a lot of people's Moon Studios ones falling apart. Fingers breaking, ankles giving out, shoulder attachments breaking. Now, not every copy does this, and there's most likely not every copy of MPG Raiden does this either, but there are some that just die. And then there's the G1 toy that's worth a lot, and then the KO, which also goes for a lot. So like, I don't think there is a good Raiden toy out there, or Raiden, I don't know how to, I'm saying Raiden. At least one that I would personally consider good and affordable, because the G1 toys are like $1,000. I want the G1 one, but I would love a mainline Hasbro take on this. Like if Mark and team were able to like take a stab and try a Generations one, that would be cool and would probably be better than this bunch, unless some other company wants to try a third-party version of this. So yeah, no. To sum up my final thoughts on this set is pain.